Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm Jean McGuire, the director of the library here. Very, very happy to have Julia Flanary here. She's the Maynard conservation agent and assistant town planner, and she was instrumental in bringing these kayaks to Maynard. And I think that people in town are so excited about the fact that this is in Maynard now. It's just a great enhancement to the community. So lots of excitement. We're glad you're here tonight. One thing to let you know about an upcoming event, in case you don't already know, is that the annual library summer concert will be next Thursday, August 17th, 5:30 to 7, and it's Terrence Simeon and the Zydeco Experience, coming all the way from Louisiana, and they're really great. So please do come and join us for that. It will be in Memorial Park, weather permitting, which right now looks good, and if it rains, it'll be at the sanctuary. And thank you so much, Julia, for being here and educating us about the kayak rental station.
See if it will. Come on. Oh no. Okay. There we go. So now there. Okay, so I'm Julia Flanary. Nice to meet you all. Like Jean said, I'm conservation agent and assistant town planner. Just like a little bit about me, I consulted for towns on stormwater management. My background is in environmental planning and in marine science. So I'm really passionate about getting people on the water, whether that is in a river or over in the ocean. And yeah, I think that there is a really great kind of mixture of conservation and recreation within the town of Maynard. So just, you know, a little bit of background about why we as conservation are the ones to support this initiative. So Conservation Division, which is me, supports, I talk about ourselves as a division, but it's just me. It's 200, I manage 206 acres of land. I do all of the wetland permitting, all of the stormwater permitting, and then that includes code enforcement. So hopefully I haven't met any of you in that way. And that's another huge reason I'm doing this, because that's how usually our first interaction, if it's around enforcement, isn't always great. So, you know, trying to get the word out about wetland permitting, about rules and regulations around the water is very important. So that kind of all ties into some of the reasons why we need to protect our resources, water resources and drinking water supply in the town of Maynard. We supply all of our own water. So our natural resources are extremely important to us. You know, we're working on improving our enforcement, and that is through public outreach, actively managing our town land. For a while, it was a lot of passive management, and that's mainly due to, you know, staff issues, but I think the lack of staff to be able to go out and manage. And so that's another reason that we're trying to get people out onto the property, and also protect our remaining natural resources. So, you know, if you start to go out there and realize how amazing, you know, these areas are, you'll be more likely to want to protect them. Yeah, and there's some community needs that we do as well. Okay, so now to the reason why you're all here. So what I'm going to do is go over how to download the app. And then I have some videos on how to unlock the equipment, how to use the paddle, it's called the Easy Launch, how to actually use that. I have a video on that. And then I have a video on how to put it back, how to return the kayak. So if you have the app and you want to follow along, be my guest, and please stop me, raise your hand, whatever. We'll take it. We can go back and rewatch the videos. Like I said, all of this is going to be recorded. So you're on your phone. Here's my phone. I recorded this earlier. So you're going to go to the App Store. and you are going to look up Rent.Fun. That is the app that we're using. And I'm gonna pause it here. So you can see when you look that up, it's not the first thing, there's an ad. It's the second one that's what the logo looks like. So make sure you get that one. And then you're gonna download and you're gonna make yourself an account. Now, this is the part that I couldn't record because I already had an account, and so yeah, we can set up the account after if you already don't have it. So that's that first part. So then this is what the app looks like. Would you guys like to try to download the app and then we can move forward, or do you want me to keep going? How do you guys feel?
We can keep going.
Give everyone a minute to look for the app, no problem. The other way this can happen too is like, so if you were down at the kayaks rental station and you scan the QR code, it would have you download the app. That's usually how most people have been doing it. But I think it's much easier to download the app when you're not standing there in heat and outside.
So Julia, one thing.
Yeah.
So I've done this.
Yes.
You've heard my story. I'll share that later with people. What I didn't realize is it's not a reservation system. It's
Correct.
It's just a check-in, check-out.
Yes.
System. So
Yeah,
I did
first
it
come, first serve.
from my room in my pajamas.
Mhm.
And then it said, unlock your kayak. And I went, oh no. I'm racing down to Assabet.
Yeah.
So people should know that.
Yes, it is first come, first serve. So you can download the app and you put in your credit card information. You can do all of that in the comfort of your home or in your car. But when you actually go to rent the kayak, that doesn't happen until you get there. And so I'll show you how we're gonna do that. So when you open the app, so it's going to pinpoint your location. And so what you need to do is then, if you have it open now, you click nearby. So if you're already at Ice House Landing, it's gonna bring you here. That's because that's gonna be your location. But if you're trying to look around to see, where is the closest station? We're the only ones in Massachusetts, so it's only, this is your only option. So you can't mess that up. So when you click on the Ice House Landing rental station, so again, this is a third party that we're using. So there are some weird things that I can't really control. For example, doesn't it kind of look like no, like you're not, it's supposed to be a kayak, but it looks like a no, like this is closed. But it's yeah, there's an orange kayak, but within an orange point. So that confused me the first time. It is open. And I had a few people ask, and so the way that you can see is it's open and there's 8 available. So like you said, you can check from your pajamas in your room to see how many are available at that time. And then, but by the time you get down there, yeah, we had to keep it first come, first serve, just to ensure that, we get a quicker turnaround. We don't want people to be reserving them for quite some time.
Yeah. No, it makes sense once you think it through, but.
Yeah, so when we have issues, like if you've used them in the past, there was 4 on the right side weren't working. And so you would only see that there's 4 available. So you go down there and you're like, but there are 4 right here. Why does it only say there's 4 available when there's clearly 8? And that's because it was in maintenance mode. So people will email me, I'm able to turn certain lockers on or off, or so right now I'm actually probably going to turn 2 lockers off until I can figure out, for some reason, when you scan a QR code of one, it unlocks the other. There's something weird happening. But that's my goal for this weekend. I'm going to figure that out for you guys. So yeah, so you'll see how many are open and then our rate. So this is where I'm going to click here. So some of the things to kind of go over, I guess we'll keep going over this. So, so here's my credit card's already in, as you can see. And then you can rent up to 4 at a time on the same account. That includes memberships. So if you buy the $75 membership right now, which is an annual membership, you can take out 4 at a time under that membership. So that's why it's like really advantageous to get the membership. You know, if you feel like you're gonna use it at least a couple of times, or if you want to rent multiple at the same time. One question that comes up a lot is, can I rent them for my kids? Great question. You are signing the terms of service, which say that you have to be 18 or older to rent the kayak. Now, you have to be 18 or older to press rent on the kayak. If you as the parent are with the child and want to put them in the kayak that you rented, you are agreeing to the terms of service. So that was a big question that has come up a lot. And yeah, that it really, I think it's the judgment of the parents in that case. Okay, so since I was not at Ice House Landing when I did this, if you press select kayak and you're not there, what's gonna happen is it's going to take you to this page. So this is probably what you saw. So here are all of the kayaks. They have these fun numbers. And so you can either select rent, like open this, or you use that QR code. And so if you're at the location, it knows, and it will turn to your camera and say like, allow access to camera. You say allow, and then you don't have to be like, okay, which one? I want to rent the bottom one. What number is that? You can just go and scan the QR code and it knows which one you're trying to rent. And then after you click like rent on one of them, so this is where you would select a membership. As you can see right now, I don't have a membership on my account. So it's saying, you know, do you want to proceed without a membership? Something to keep in mind with memberships, they do take about 24 to 48 hours to go through. So if you buy one, then you have to wait for it to go through. Otherwise you will be charged again. Yeah, do you have a question?
How long is membership good for?
A year.
It's calendar year.
It's calendar year. So sorry, so like if you got it today, August 10th, 2023, it would be good till August 10th, 2024. So 1 year.
Even better. I thought it was calendar year.
That is my understanding of it. I think.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
That's an important difference.
It is an important difference. So I originally thought it was seasonal, but because we only have it open per season, but then I realized that the membership is for the entire company, and they have most of their rentals are in Florida, or the South, or places where, you know, you can rent all year round. So it makes sense that theirs is on an annual basis.
Do you have other locations in the area?
No, we are the first in Massachusetts. There will be one in Harvard, Massachusetts. And then there's one in Hillsbrook, Maine that also opened the same week we did. So when you go to the website, it shows you like every state that they're in. But this membership does, like, if you go to Florida and you're near, I think it's like Royal Palm Beach or something like that, you can use your membership there. If you go to Flint, Michigan, I know that they have one. And they're constantly opening. So I got a call from Virginia Beach that they wanted to open one. So yeah, it's a cool idea that you could like use them anywhere. I think they did the membership because they started really doing them in Florida, like in around the same area. So it made sense. Did you?
Yeah, so it says mine expires July 2024.
Okay, yeah, so it's annual on the day that you get it. So I highly recommend getting it now or getting it, you know, towards the end of the summer, because then it will be good for most of next summer. And I still haven't decided, so I get to decide when we close it, which means you get to decide when we close it. So when I see our rentals starting to dip down, obviously I need to take it out during that first freeze before the first, you know, before the water freezes, because we need to take out the dock before it freezes. We pull the dock, everything out. So, and that usually happens in like November. So if it's still good in October and people are still using it, I'll keep it open. I'm gonna try to kind of see what the town wants and what we want for when we want to close it. And that's the cool thing about having this self-serve system versus a manned operation, you know, that needs to close at a certain time because you need to have people there.
Can I have a clarification? please?
Yeah.
So the membership is $75.
Yes.
I sign up for $75.
Yes.
And then anytime I want, I can go and take 4 kayaks out?
Yes.
2 hours,
Yes,
without any other payment?
correct.
Oh, sounds like a no-brainer.
Yes. And so 60% of the profits that we make on this go back into my conservation fund to fund any other conservation land initiatives. So including, you know, if we, depending on if we really like this, maybe we'll put it back into getting another, you know, purchasing another station. So we have 4 more. Or, you know, we're redoing a lot of Ice House Landing. It's kind of a sad park right now. We're investing some money into landscaping and those types of things. So we haven't really figured out how how that's gonna work if everyone does a membership. But yeah, it's kind of a crazy idea to think like, why wouldn't you do this? I think the biggest reason people don't is because of that 48-hour turnaround. So you really have to kind of plan it out that you're gonna get the membership. And that's why I'm doing this, to kind of let you guys know before you go out there. Yeah.
So if I have a $75 membership, can I use it 10 times in the season?
You can, it
$35?
is unlimited. For 2 hours, so you just can't go over that 2 hours, so you can rent a kayak up to 4 hours, so 2 sessions, so you can pay up to $50. So if you go over that 2 hours, you will automatically be charged $25 to your account.
Yeah, what I'm
but-
saying is,
Yeah, you can go as many times as you want.
I'm only gonna be charged $75.
Yep, for that one time that you already paid. Yeah.
It really is a no-brainer,
Um,
Such a deal.
especially if 60% of it goes to the conservation fund.
yeah,
We can take it as a charitable donation.
so, so this app, something else to keep in mind is the app is, originally made for bike rentals. So you'll see this, and scooters, that's what the company started with, and they moved to kayaks. So you'll see things like return locations, that's not really applicable here because, you know, you're not kayaking to another location, but potentially maybe Stowe will want to put one down so you can kayak from one to another and ride your bike, or, you know, use it as mode of transportation.
Would this also work to rent a bike?
No, so it wouldn't. So
The kayak.
yeah, it's just the kayak membership. We are looking into doing a bike share again, because we had Zagster for a few years, and we were the most popular Zagster in the state, which was really exciting. We had the most rentals. We were gonna do it with Acton, and we applied for some grants. We didn't get the grants, and Acton decided to move forward with Concord. So still encourage you guys to go over and use the Bruce Freeman bike rental share between Acton and Concord. It's really cool, but we're gonna get there. So yeah, I think that's where this ends. Yeah,
Are the kayaks, single seaters or 2-seaters?
they are sit on top, so. What did I do? I accidentally stopped sharing. There we go. There, okay. So. Here is me and all of my glory, renting a kayak, so we'll talk through it. No, don't stop. Okay, so as you go up, now you have an app on your phone, you take out the app, you scan the one that you would like. I'm short, so I go for the lower ones. And you can see it opens up your phone. And so now I'm going through that video that I just showed you of selecting my membership. And now you hit unlock after you've made your payment. So that unlocks the locker, you pull it down. Put your phone away so you don't drop it like I almost did. And then you take out your kayak. So you can see it's a simple sit on top kayak. Everything is adjustable. The seat's adjustable. It comes with a life jacket and a paddle. The life jacket is also like a universal size. So if you have your own life jacket, feel free to bring that. And just leave this life jacket in the locker if you don't want to use it. And then it has these, you can see I struggle with picking it up by myself. I highly encourage you to do it with someone else. But it does have really nice handles on the side. And they don't hurt, like, you know, some kayaks like will slice, the plastic will slice you. So yeah, so then you bring it to the dock and then you put it into the Easy Kayak launch. Easy Launch is the name of it. And so this is how you do that. So you put your kayak in. I like to use my hands, but you can use the paddles depending on your size and your strength. But you just put your hands in those little notches and you pull yourself off the launch. So that way there's no wobbling, there's nothing. Do you want to describe what happened to you because you didn't know how to do this? You were my inspiration for making this video.
So, I did my rental the day after the ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
I was really excited. We got a message from Stephanie Duggan saying, hey, there's this new thing. So I immediately signed up. And I looked at that and said, I don't think I'm gonna be able to push off that. I don't know how that's gonna work. So I originally had it facing out, which I thought wasn't gonna work so well. So I tried to flip the kayak around and I let go. And it went into the middle of the river. And I stood there for a while going. It's pretty funny.
And so it's
Yeah,
What did you do?
I rented another one. I held it. There are nice clips on the seat.
yeah.
So-
So it's a really weird area from a water perspective. So down here is the Ben Smith Dam, built in 1898. And so the water comes rushing down, not rushing, but the water has a current. It's not very strong because of the dams on the river, but it hits that and kind of swings around. So that's why it took her kayak so far out, because there's a solid amount of water kind of moving and it's a little toilet here that kind of moves around. So yeah, so when we talk about going upstream versus downstream, so it's really nice though. I personally like having it here because you get the hardest paddle is going towards stow. So you get your hard paddle out of the way, and then when you turn around, it's much easier to come back. And yeah, so that's that. And now let's look at how we get back. So you paddle really hard in a straight line, as much as straight as you can do. And then, oh, hold on.
Isn't that slick?
And then you can, again, use your paddle or your hands. I kind of use both. And then you pull yourself, so you're in this indentation, and then that's where you climb out. And I did not record myself climbing out, because no matter what you do, you are not graceful. It's, you kind of just like throw your body onto the dock. The great thing is you can't fall out of the water, and you're not going to get wet. So that's the big thing with these that I really like with these kayaks, is that, well, with this launch in particular, first is I launch out of stow all the time off of the bridge under White Pond Road, which is another great place if you have your own kayaks, except for the fact that you really gotta get yourself into the water and then like climb into your kayak. But again, like balance and figure it all out. And this allows you to do it a little bit easier. Now, I'm thinking for next season, I might end up switching this to be that way. So you could come at it either direction. There's not just one entrance and exit. And also keep in mind that this changes ease with the water level. So this is made to be like somewhat in the water. And so when we get like super high storms, you know, we've gotten a lot of water. Some of this is underwater sometimes. So just keep that in mind that it'll always be a little bit above water, but depending on the weather, that level can change. Does anyone have any questions about the easy launch? How that works?
That's really slick. And thanks for the video.
Yeah, and so what I did too was there's a much more graceful one that I put on my website on conservation that the company makes for Easy Launch. And he actually had it switched and I was like, maybe we should switch it. Maybe that's what makes it more difficult. But I'm gonna try to get some more educational sign, like a sign that kind of explains what to do. Yeah, it's an amazing launch and like one of the only ones on the Assabet River. So it really stinks that when people walk up and they're like, how do I do this? How does this work? Okay, so before I start this, we go back to the beginning. Okay, so now you've gotten your kayak, you're in, you bring it back to the locker area. So you're gonna open your phone and it's gonna give you two options. It's gonna say end rental or unlock. And it's kind of hard to see because of the light, but don't press end rental, press unlock. So something that I didn't explain at the beginning was after you get your kayak out, because I had someone else with me when I did this, but after you get your kayak out, you turn around and you lock that locker back up. And that makes sure that your rental has started. It also makes sure that no one can accidentally return a kayak into the wrong locker. And for like safety reasons, we don't want like children getting stuck in the locker. They were broken. I fixed it. So if they were hard to lock before, they are not. You don't have to give like all of your strength now. It's just more of just like you have to maybe do it 1 or 2 times. So we press unlock. That's gonna unlock the active rental. So I press unlock, it does that little spinny thing, and then you hear it go click, click, and that's it unlocking. You pull that down. You can put your kayak in whatever way is easier. I personally think putting the back in first is a little bit easier for me. You get a little more leverage, and then using the cup holder to then swing it back in. And then don't forget to put your paddle and your life jacket back in. And then we swing. I was trying to like do 2 things at once, open the app and swing the door closed. I highly recommend doing one at a time. So you swing the door closed. You can see you pull on it. Mine didn't shut, so I give it another shut. And then I press end rental. And it says, are you sure you want to end? Yes, yes, yes. And now it's going to say action required, take a picture. And that's why you don't want to end your rental until you put it back. Because you're going to take a picture of the locker with the kayak inside. And then the reason for that is because if something is missing when the next person comes and you have not taken that picture with everything inside, you could get charged for something missed, like for a life jacket or something like that. So that's the important part. So we just, again, making sure it's locked before you take it out to the water, coming back, unlocking it, making sure that you lock it back up, then end your rental. So, and I added another like explanation on the actual locker itself, right on the side over there. That does more of a step-by-step, because I really didn't like how the company, it just didn't feel like you must have done it right before I put any instructions out.
Yeah.
So it was confusing. So we're working on it slowly but surely, getting some more information out there, doing things like this. So does anyone have any questions at this point?
Oh, I don't know if it's a question or a
Yeah.
comment. But the first I heard about this was on NPR.
Oh,
on the Boston station, it was, and Maynard has, and I said, wow.
yeah, I was on WVUR.
Yeah, and then I saw the signs that said it's coming.
Yep.
Oh, that's great, this is coming. And then once it came, then I didn't see any signage, and I didn't see any signs like on 117, like a sign that says rental, that
Yep.
go down this road, so.
Yeah, so we are,
My question is, how do we get the word out that
Yeah.
it's there?
exactly. So, so one thing that we're working on is ordering some like nice signs. So instead of having like, you'll see the signs I put around, I like laminate in my office. And then I like, I use zip ties to put up. And that's what the one that said like coming soon and all of those things. Our DPW is not a huge fan of those. They rip, they fall, they don't like how it looks. And I kind of agree, they don't look great. So, we are working with a company right now to make some like proper signs. To replace, to put it on 117, but also the rail trail, there's that little tiny sign that's like a kayak person or something. We're removing that and we're actually gonna be redoing that whole entrance area. So we're putting some there and then, yeah, I think I'm gonna do like a poll of like where people think I should put them. That would be best, like where, you know, cause my goal is to get people to use the rail trail as much as possible to get there. So, you know, walk or bike. We're really selling to our own town and it's pretty walkable. And you can bike as much as possible and then leave the spots out for the people who really need to use their cars to get there. We also, you know, I would love to expand the parking at Winter Street. So there might be some trial and error as we go about this, but access to our rail trail in general is really difficult. It's hard to find that parking. Most people didn't even know Ice House Landing existed before the kayak stuff. At least that's what I found. And so it's really hard to find parking to get on the rail trail to like explore the outdoors. So this might be the push that we need for administration to be like, oh, maybe we should expand because we do have all of that land. So pros and cons, but yeah, that's great that you heard it. It never got put on the website and it disappeared. So I wasn't sure if anyone actually listened. Does anyone have any other questions or comments? No?
What would be the hours of access to the walkers?
So right now it's sunrise to sunset, but I have not seen anyone go past like 7 p.m. I would say like ensure that just from a safety perspective,
Time you get back.
that by the time you get back, but we did sunrise to sunset because that changes. So, so the program changes with the sunset. So, it knows when sunset is in this area and turns it off. It says it's open 24/7, but my side, my controls say sunrise, sunset, so, yeah. You know, I think in mid-July, if you want to go down there at 8 o'clock and rent a kayak, maybe it'll let you, maybe it won't. But yeah, sunrise, so like, you know, 5:30, I think is when it opens, so you can get out there pretty early.
Is it getting much use?
It is. Should we look up and see how many we have? Okay. So I'm gonna stop the recording at this point.